Hey everybody, this is the discussion board for Module 2, and I will be reflecting on the value store activity. Just a little disclaimer, this is not my room. I'm currently in Charlotte, getting ready to go to a concert, so if you notice a stark change in the scenery from my past video to this video, you know why. So first we'll start with the first value that I identified, which was help society, which I think is the whole point of education in general, and definitely in higher ed, especially in my unit in institutional diversity and inclusion. Creating a more inclusive society, a more knowledgeable society about the different talents and skills that diverse individuals or all individuals bring to a particular situation. I think that is very much so in line with what I believe and what my role has been so far. The second value that I identified was knowledge, and that's just, I think, a personal thing. And again, I think it fits well with higher education, given that it's an institution for students to pursue learning at a more advanced, in-depth level. Me getting 2 master's degrees, I value knowledge, and I think it's important that our students learn how to sort through information to create knowledge, if that makes any sense. So again, something I think is pretty in sync with the values of higher education. My third value was leadership, which I'm really passionate about. Always been interested in what influence can do to move people towards something better. Understanding that leadership can have a positive or negative effect, given your frame in which you use leadership. But I think in higher education, we should be training our students to be better leaders, to be more engaged citizens. And we as practitioners, or educators rather, should be steering a lot of the conversations that are currently going on in the world, whether that be about politics or hunger, gender equality, race equality. We, being educators in institutions of higher education, really have a certain level of input that I don't think we always exercise, or we may be afraid to exercise. One second. Okay, change and variety, which is another personal thing that I really enjoy. I don't like doing the same thing over and over again. I don't like feeling stagnant, bogged down, or anything like that. And I think the university setting really provides me that change and variety I need. Students graduate every 4 years, hopefully. Every student is different. There's a lot of variety. The programs you implement and do change, vary. I think that's important. You don't want to switch it up. Again, you don't want to be stagnant. You don't ever want to feel as though you're doing the same thing over and over again and you're not being as effective as you were, say, 3 years ago, because best practices change as well. And lastly, would be creativity, and that's something else that I think you need just to be a good practitioner, professional, and whatever you do. Have to think outside of the box. What ways can we engage students? What ways can we approach this issue, this problem, this program in a different way to make sure that our students are getting or achieving as many outcomes as desired as they set out to obtain? And that out-of-the-box thinking normally leads to those innovative programs that eventually do become best practices. So those are my values. I'm going to check real quick to see what else I was supposed to discuss in this journal. Relate to your work. Okay. I think all the values on the value sort activity, even the ones that I did not choose, relate to higher education in some way, because it's all about that frame. One of the things sticking out in my mind right now that was in my top 10 that didn't make it to my top 5 is competition. And I think normally people would think competition against another institution, or particularly like online institutions, and how do we provide a service that students still want now that they can do everything from home. I did not think about competition in that way. I thought about competition as within yourself, within your department, within units, and making sure that you guys are holding each other accountable, whether that be peer-to-peer as professionals or across functional units across the institution, making sure that we're holding each other accountable to our best practices, to being on the cutting edge, to engaging our students to the best of our ability, and contributing to the field. So that was just one thing I thought about. That I think all these values on the sheet really could apply to higher ed. It depends on your functional unit, your personal background, the frame in which you look at things, etc. So that's my video. Alright guys, I will talk to you soon.